pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Here.
Councilman McCarthy.
Here.
Councilman Wareham.
Here.
Councilman Creighton.
Here.
Councilman Malloy.
Here.
Please. Acting as a Board of Water Commissioners, authorize the following. Transfer from account of water improvements to repairs in the St. James Water District, amount of $10,000.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareham.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Transfer $1,500 escrow into the St. James Water District and further authorize an increase in the revenue code by the same amount.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareham.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Transfer $5,000 escrow fund for the Murata facial plastic surgeon to the Smithtown Water District and authorizes a increase in the same amount.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareham.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
God bless you.
That concludes Water District matters. Anyone wish to be heard in Water District matters? If not, we'll close the meeting and proceed. We're all convened. Under correspondence, we have in this concert Chamber of Commerce Craft Fair reading, second reading, Suffolk County Kennel Club, Colac High School Homecoming Parade, second reading, and the second reading for Parade Walk American Cancer Society. Anybody wish to be heard for or against the granting of those permits? If not, we'll move on. We have 3 public hearings today. The first one is to consider an amendment to Chapter 322 of the Code entitled Zoning. Advertisement for public, I'm sorry. And Town Board to authorize the clerk to advertise that public hearing on the 4th day, September, at 2 p.m. in the Town Hall.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareham.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes, and also the Town Board to authorize the clerk to advertise for public hearing to be held in Town Hall on the 4th day of September 2012 at 2 p.m. to consider an amendment to Chapter 112 of the Code.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareham.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes. Town Board also to authorize the clerk to advertise for public hearing to be held on the 4th day of September at 2 p.m. to consider an amendment to the code entitled zoning as it relates to special exception uses.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareham.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes. Under resolutions, the Town Board to advertise the following bids. A bid for handicapped accessible ramps at Long Beach.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareham.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes. Town Board to award the following bids as per the opening of the bids on August 2nd. A bid for wall stone furnishing, mulch bags, generators set to GT Power, compressed natural gas powered sedan to Apple Honda.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareham.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes. Town Board to authorize the clerk to advertise for the following request for proposals to be returned to Town Hall. A request for proposal entitled Third Party Administrator for Tort Claims Management on September 6, 2012.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareham.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes, the Town Board, after due study and deliberation of the subject matter, to issue a secret negative declaration and determination of non-significance, an environmental impact statement is not necessary in the following matters. The Long Beach Town Park Handicapped Access Ramp, application of Crown Castle East, application for site plan approval by J.P. Morgan Bank, and a change of zone petition of Boulder Smithtown Properties for modification of conditions to a previously approved change of zone.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
You could read.
Number 5, the town board to approve the following. A, amendment to resolution 2012-634 of the town board meeting dated June 22nd to read as follows: be it resolved, the town board be and hereby authorize the town clerk to issue a parade run walk permit to Smithtown High School as per date. B, town issue parade run walk to Comac. C, town to issue a parade run walk American Cancer Society. D, parade run walk Smithtown Kennel. E, town clerk special event, this concert chamber. F, town attorney or appropriate official to enter in stipulation of settlement for certiorari matters. G, PIN 12-071, sole source bus upgrades. H, highway department to purchase bandsaw. I, Peter Johnson, assessor, conference. J, appointment. K, amendment to 2012 road program to add roads. L, authorized payment to Gayo's Collision. And M, adoption of amendment to Chapter 101 of the Town Code.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Item number 6, the town board to authorize the acceptance of the following as per 6A and B, cash donations and accept donations.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Item number 7, the town board to authorize the controller to execute the following as per 7A through N, various transfers and increase in revenue codes as per the printed agenda.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Item number 8, the town board to authorize the supervisor to execute the following on form approved by the town attorney as per 8A, B, C, and D. Term extension agreement with Kings Park School District, agreement with Jefferson Solutions. C, license agreement with Count Castle NG East. And D, 3 annual agreements with State of New York Environmental Facilities Corporation.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Number 9, the town board to authorize settlement in the following per matters recommendation of the town attorney as per 9A, B, C, and D. A, for the amount of $800. B, $2,750. C, $2,650. And D, $1,805.25 as per the printed agenda.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Item number 10, the town board to authorize the release of the following as per 10A, Bank of Smith, an irrevocable letter of credit as per the printed agenda.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Under personnel, the town board to authorize, to approve the following personnel matters as per 11A through Q. We have part-time appointments, full-time promotion, F, full-time promotion, G, full-time, seasonal appointment, part-time, full-time promotion, full-time appointment, promotion, extended medical leave, full-time appointment, and part-time appointment as per the printed agenda A through Q.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
The town board is sitting as the Board of Site Plan Review will consider the following site plans at the end of this meeting.
Correct.
Site number 1 and number 2. Number 1 is Comac Car Wash, and number 2 is J. Zazzle Partnership, Chase Bank.
Councilman Malloy.
No,
Yes.
no vote on that.
They'll be considered under the meeting. Public information.
Okay, we have some resolutions not on the printed agenda. And the town board to amendment of resolution 212 of number 343 to permit an increase in the limit on hours worked by Patricia A. Waite as needed in the town attorney's office. That's a resolution.
We need a motion. Second. Supervisor Vecchio. Councilman
Yes.
McCarthy.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Seasonal appointment of Conrad Chase to the position of student intern in the office of town attorney at the rate of pay of $9 per hour.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes, and town board to authorize the adoption of a local law, amending local law number 6 of 2007 as it related to permitted signs as per the public hearing held on June 21st, 2012.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Warehime.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Town Board to approve the request for proposal for planning study for the Lawrence Road Avenue in Kings Park to Baldessano Architecture as per the proposal received on August 2nd, 2012.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Warehime.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes, also Town Board to authorize the bid for installation of decorative street lighting on Smithtown Boulevard in Wisconsin.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Warehime.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes, and this is coincidental to this. It's a budget modification for downtown revitalization for the transfer of $25,000 for the streetlights.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Warehime.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes, and the Town Board directs Town Building Department Director to inspect and prepare corresponding reports concerning the 20 properties on the attached list.
Councilman Malloy.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Warehime.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes. Okay, now we'll go to the two-word portion of the Town Board. Susan Fink.
My name is Susan Fink. I live at 159 Alexander Avenue in Wisconsin. This is about the proposed Sonic on our corner. I see the time goes, so I'm going to have to make this shorter. We saw what Sonic did to North Babylon. We saw what it looked like. It doesn't belong in a residential area. It doesn't belong abutting houses. It doesn't belong on somebody's backyard fence or on a residential street. The one in North Babylon has no residences on the side of it, in back of it, in front of it, or on the other side. The people who do live the closest live a full block away, and they spoke about the traffic that they get. The one in North Babylon is in a commercial parking lot, and even with the huge commercial parking lot, people still go a block over and park on those people's streets. And there's no indoor eating in that one. It's just outdoor in a patio. We're afraid that that's going to come to us. Sonic said that there'd be no additional traffic. It would be only the traffic that was on Jericho. The next 2 weeks later, somebody wrote to the Smithtown News that it would be a wonderful thing to have Sonic. He would love to come to a Sonic restaurant. He'd love to have the experience, and he lives in Plainview. Sonic's own property, their own advertising, talks about it being a road trip destination. So the fact that they could tell us that there'd be no adverse impact is ridiculous. It will provide obnoxious nuisance, continued noise, traffic lights, the time is going, views from the residents, smells, vermin, litter. Let me get to something that really hit when I was looking at the pass-outs. I have 346 people in our community who signed a petition asking the town not to grant the variance. Virtually every single house on Alexander and Dover Hill and Yarmouth, some of the neighbors are here. Sonic's own, can I pass out some things this way to you?
Yes, but I'm going to make a statement if you don't mind when you're finished.
That's okay.
Okay.
Sonic's own advertisements show that they clearly differentiate curbside
Sure.
dining.
Just give it to the gentleman.
Okay, that they clearly differentiate curbside dining from indoor dining. Curbside dining, curb service is the other one, is not permitted by the code in Smithtown 322-11 prohibited uses. And the other thing that is in our own codes is that special exemption, that drive-ins with windows shall not be located along certain areas, that no outdoor loudspeakers shall be permitted except in a drive-in window. Loudspeakers shall not be audible to the residents. They want 22 of these loudspeakers, and they're not on the building, they're on freestanding stanchions. It's clearly against the special exemption code. What I would hope the town would do would see that Sonic has not met their goal, their obligation, that Smithtown is required to give them these variances. And I would also like the town perhaps to define exactly what curbside dining is, because we're not allowed to have it, but I couldn't find any definition specifically of what it was. And Sonic is saying, can I just give you the answer?
Yeah, sure.
Sonic is saying that it's not really curbside dining, that's an addition to their indoor. They never have indoor dining. Outdoor is their brand, it's their ID, it's what they're known for. The indoor is just so that that somebody will grant them permission. That's what they told us.
Okay,
And what actually is curbside dining, and if it doesn't fit curbsides, then it's a moot point because they can't have it.
Ms. Fink, I think you and I spoke on the
We
phone?
did, we did.
Okay. And I see there were two other speakers. I think you're just before the wrong board here. The Board of Zoning and Appeals is an
Yes.
autonomous board set by state law. None of us here have any input there. Indeed, we're prohibited from having input to the Board of Zoning and Appeals because it was designed that way by New York State Legislature.
What about
So
the
any
vendors?
decision that they make is theirs to make, and we can't interfere with that decision.
But a definition of what curbside dining is
Well,
the
but
purview
that's
of this
it.
board.
They're asking, well,
Could we
the
get that
planning
definition
director,
before they render a
allow me,
decision?
the planning director advises that board, and they have their own attorney. So they make the decision based on their interpretation of the code and advice from their attorney.
But I guess what I'm thinking of is if you tend to agree with the community that this would be disastrous for all of us, could you clearly state what curbside dining is, and hopefully it will exclude what Sonic wants to put there?
Well, is it not clearly stated now, Mr. Doovies?
There's no definition.
There's no definition. Well, that's something the town attorney can advise the board about, whether we can do that.
Can it be done before they reach a
That's
decision?
another question we'd have to address to him.
I thank you very much.
Okay,
Oh,
thank you.
and the petition, this is not coming to you then?
Well, we'll get that over to the Board of Zoning and Appeals.
But you want-
You should take it now for public. This was presented here, and we'll do is we'll make a copy presented.
So the same thing holds for the other two speakers. This is not a decision that we can involve ourselves in.
Well, I understand that. I guess I was hoping that the
Okay.
definition would preclude them from accepting it.
Well, the town attorney's heard you, and he will advise the board if that
Thank
can
you
happen.
very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Fink. Did the others wish to be heard? Yes, okay. Is it Jean Ann, and I can't read the last name?
I live at 184 Alexander Avenue. Supervisor Vecchio and Councilman, even though this is not your area of expertise, one very, very, very important thing, I'm talking now so it is on the record, was never ever mentioned, and that was the width of the street on Deer Park Avenue is 2 lanes one way and an egress. We are 1 lane, no egress. It will endanger our children getting on and off school buses, the Sonic, impair responsive emergency vehicles, ambulances, police, and fire trucks. A dramatic increase of noise and pollution, which we know it will increase stranger foot and car traffic, inaccessibility of entering and exiting our own driveway or leaving our streets, increased challenges for family visits, mailmen, sanitation, landscape, delivery, vehicles, and repairmen. How are they going to do that with cars queuing? It's a narrow little street. Decrease in property value, environmental overload. The whole area is environmentally overload. This is an obvious thing. It will increase the risk of flooding caused by absence of soil to rain runoff into the corner of Alexander Avenue. And people throwing garbage and vermin. The people in Deer Park, we don't have the woman here, she worked for the police department, and it's public record, the calls that are coming in because of fighting, drugs, hangouts, and things that are going on, and it's filtering into the community. I know that you have bylaws, and bylaws are also meant to be changed. Why should Sonic be resting on this one thing with, what did you call it, the, how many people, an indoor and outdoor thing? Change the law. Make it, if it's an environmental overload, a moratorium on any more building. This can be done. It's just a little inventive thinking. It's a little inventive caring. It has gone out of hand. So this can lead to our death. It can lead to accidents. And we were advised by lawyers that in some cases we could sue if, God forbid, these tragedies happen. why should we have to show this to the town, this board or any board? Why, in the name of common sense, can it be done without us having all this effort and doing all this work? It's just common sense and logic. And we hope that you know this, even though it's not your expertise. Thank you very much.
It's okay, you can continue if you
I
want
can
to.
say one more.
Okay.
I have so much to say, but I want to thank you so much. It's only a way of creatively planning a community. It's a new type of planning now. There is a green planning where people are getting inventive. National resources, and we are a national resource. People are protecting national resources. Well, your community and people in them and the families are national resources, more than the trees, more than anything else. I think that the town board, with an S, whatever department, can be more creative in their planning the town. If it's so logical when you look at that area that the people in the condos can't come out and they're hiring a lawyer, and it's an obvious thing, and to add insult to injury, the owner of the property wants to filter in Costco, Regazzi, onto
Okay.
our street. That's
Thank
it.
you so much.
And I want to thank you for
Thank
giving me
you.
a few extra
But please
minutes.
understand
I
that
know.
we can possibly, if the town attorney advises us in a positive way, to attempt to change that or make an interpretation of the curbside restaurant. But until that time, we are powerless. We have no input to the Board of Zoning Appeals.
I know that, but I did want to put it out there so that you all
Okay,
understood.
well,
wanna
I think
thank you for your
they watch
patience.
this program, so they'll know what I said. Okay,
Thank you so much.
thank you. Did the other, Mr. Lipinski wish to be heard? Thank you, sir. Mr. Jeff Bartels? Bartels, I'm sorry. I think I'm going to burst your bubble before you speak, but it's okay.
I'm sorry, what?
I think I'm going to burst your bubble, but
Oh.
go ahead.
Okay. all
You
right.
called this morning,
Yes, I
and
did.
you said the town ought to encourage Huntington to recycle e-waste.
Yeah, can I go into that, or?
Well, we found out that they do.
Yeah, but they don't have the great program that you have.
Oh, okay, so good. Then
So
you can
I'm
praise
here
the
to
program.
actually,
You can praise our
compliment
program.
you on your program.
Okay, all right.
And
No
you're
time
doing
limit
like
on the
Frank
speaker.
does. I did, first off, the other thing on the record, I'm half deaf, so
Oh, okay.
if any other noise is going on besides when I'm trying to speak, it garbles what I hear, and that's why I speak loud. Now, Frank Petrone over in Huntington and A.J. Carter love to use that against me to try and make it, I'm a very loud maniac, but I'm not. I'm just a very concerned citizen. Okay, I guess, first off, I wish you could restart the clock, but I was going to commend you that, first off, you have a clock, and that's something we don't have at the town, and it's up to Lawyer Leo. So in any case, I'm here today because of e-waste, and it has beryllium in it, and in Europe, beryllium is actually is outlawed, and they don't even manufacture it, they don't even burn it anymore, it's not even allowed. So, but it is in e-waste. Now, you have a great program, you've seen that there is a problem with e-waste. You think it's so important that compared to the town of Huntington, who wants everyone to drop it off and do the right thing, unfortunately people don't do the right thing, especially if you make it at all difficult for them. So you send out manpower and trucks to collect e-waste so it is properly disposed of or recycled rather than being burned in Covanta. Now, this sign is here that legislator Doc Spencer and I are working, and his team are working on a bill to ban the burning of e-waste in all of the incinerators starting in Suffolk County. Now, the thing that's really wonderful is that the town of Islip has already got the state-of-the-art example for the entire state of e-waste and battery collection. They even have battery, school program for batteries to be collected. They provide special bags for the kids. And then this way they get the kids to really kind of nag the parents. Now, you guys have another great program. Because of FiOS, Cablevision limits any viewing to only the town that you live in. FiOS shows all the villages and towns that participate. So you get to, from another town, I got to see how you treat people and how how other governments function and so forth. So what I'm trying to do is make calls, get pressure put on, because on 2014 is going to be the 25th anniversary of Covanta or Ogden Martin. And if you go to, especially you, the board and so forth, and people, there's a website out there. It's very simple. It's called freelance-investigations.com. It's by a woman, her name is Colleen Callan. She did everything that's on this website is documented. There's documents to back up all of it. Now, she did a story from August 11th, 2010, and that's about what was burned in Covanta illegally, and just this nightmare that's going on. So with the government, the entity that controls what's allowed to be burned in Covanta, I have and gave to the town of Huntington's, the entire board. I gave them a packet back in January. And if you read the actual agreement, it says in it so many pounds per hour, per 24 hours, 365 days a year. And you should see what is allowed to be burned in there, folks. And if you wonder where cancer is coming from, my idea when it comes to cancer is great, find a cure. But I believe in taking the causes of cancer out of the loop. So get the e-waste and the batteries properly recycled, not burned or put in our landfills.
Mr. Bartels.
When it comes to
Mr. Bartels?
Bartels,
Okay.
Thank you.
Your argument is with the town of Huntington, not here.
No, it's because you both townships share Covanta.
Correct.
You're both burning all of your waste at that. It serves two towns. So if you guys are doing one thing for e-waste collection, then I do ask you to try and get Frank to do equally the same thing in Huntington, so that
We will do that.
we breathe less burnt batteries and e-waste.
Okay.
Because I guarantee you, in 20 years, the worst thing that it can possibly be is that I'm right, and we all enjoy better health, and there's less cancer, and there's less autism, and there's less of this misery that's going on.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Mr. Edinburgh?
Good afternoon, Supervisor Vecchio, Councilmans Wareheim, McCarthy, Creighton, and Malloy. I'm addressing you this morning on behalf of the Comac Community Association regarding the industrial area located between Comac and Kings Park. The Comac Community Association supports a change of zoning to this area to light industry with outside storage, with the following caveats. 1, that all appropriate setbacks, noise and odor abatements are included to protect the residents of the area. 2, that heavy truck traffic to and from this area is only permitted to use County Road 14, Indian Head Road. And 3, that a change in the code enforcement of zoning regulations be made so that we are not faced with the inability of enforcing zoning regulations due to existing practices being grandfathered by the courts. As you already know, this area has been problematic to those Smithtown residents who reside near it. The residents have complained of odors, noise, and 18-wheel trucks using Town Line Road. These are major quality of life issues for these residents who look to their town government for resolution. I would like to thank you for making the change in traffic regulations which restricted heavy truck traffic on the Smithtown side of Town Line Road. Unfortunately, this two-lane road through a residential neighborhood and past two schools is under the jurisdiction of Huntington on its west side. In this case, half a loaf is not better than none. The police cannot enforce the restriction only on the east side of the road. It is our hope that a restriction of heavy truck traffic to appropriate routes can be included in the new zoning code for this area. I would also like to ask you that changes can be made in enforcement of any new zoning code, so that we're not faced with corporations winning challenges to zoning enforcement in the courts again. The passage of ordinances is only as effective as the ability of the government to enforce them. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Rosato.
Good afternoon, Town Board, Supervisor Vecchio. My name is Mike Rosato. I'm representing the Kings Park Civic Association. Currently, the Kings Park industrial area, stretching from Town Line Road on the west to Lawrence Road on the east, is underutilized and underdeveloped. It is generating only a fraction of tax revenue for our schools in town that it could potentially produce if the area were zoned properly. Several months ago, the Kings Park Civic Association membership voted to support a plan that would create a consistent zoning designation in the Kings Park industrial area. We believe such a plan will help encourage the proper redevelopment of this section of our community and eventually lead to an increase in our hamlet's tax base. Since the town has exhausted its legal options to stop the decades of heavy industrial activity that exists in the area, it seems to be in the town's best interest to zone it and control it rather than ignore it. A consistent zoning classification with specified conditions made by the planning department, combined with strict enforcement of these stipulations by our various town departments, will have a long-term benefit for our hamlet and the town of Smithtown. These benefits include stimulating investment and redevelopment, giving the town the legal authority to control and enforce zoning regulations, job creation, the creation of appropriate landscaped and buffered areas, a significant increase in tax revenue for our schools in town. This letter was dated August 15th, 2008, and here we are 4 years later, and very little has been done. Over the last several decades, the Kings Park Civic Association has led the effort to stop illegal dumping, mining, and other prohibited land uses in the Kings Park industrial area. More recently, we have sent numerous letters and emails to our town representatives encouraging them to address the zoning inconsistencies in this area. Unfortunately, up until recently, the town board's consistent lack of focus and attention to this highly important matter has been terribly disappointing and is quite frankly unacceptable. The town's refusal to provide a plan of action for this area over the last 3 decades has, in high probability, cost our taxpayers in the Kings Park School District millions of dollars in lost revenue. If this board had listened to the KPCA suggestions just 4 years ago and adopted a zoning ordinance that addresses these issues, we could have potentially generated tens of thousands of dollars in new tax revenue and created many new jobs to date. It would have also allowed the town to more effectively zone and control the area's land uses, substantially improving our residents' quality of life. The Kings Park Civic Association and Comac Association have agreed to a plan that makes sense and is supported by the majority of the landowners in the area. It would cap the number of heavy industrial acres at its current number and zones all other remaining acres for either light industry or construction industry related uses, while allowing landowners outdoor storage privileges. This is a compromise that all parties should agree to for the long-term best interest of our entire community. Any approved plan should also require that Comac Road not be used by truck traffic to enter and exit the area. There also must be a strong and consistent enforcement of all new zoning legislation, or this situation will only repeat itself in the future. Town board members, Councilman Werheim and Councilman Creighton, have recently expressed an interest in finding a solution to these long-standing problems, and we thank them. Unlike past years and former board members, we hope they will not lose sight of its importance. It's now up to the town board to act decisively to resolve this matter. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that concludes those who wish to be, oh no, Mr. Becker wishes to be heard. Gregory?
Hi, I'm Gregory Becker. I live at 34 Twix Hills Road, and I'm a Star Scout from Troop 301. For my Citizenship in the Community Merit Badge, I need to ask you a question that concerns me. My question is that the intersection between Edgewood Avenue and Landing Avenue, one lane is for turning left and going straight. The other lane is for turning right only. Why was this changed? It makes it more dangerous because cars go around the people turning left and cut into the right lane going straight. It's you know that I don't drive. I see people do it all the time. I would like you to reevaluate your decision.
Okay, what's the question? Can we do that?
Why did
Well, let me just say to you that the way it's designated now with the left turn and the right turn on the arrow, that's decided by a traffic engineer, given the best circumstances. The town has explored the possibility of widening, if you will, the right turn lane, which would make it an easier intersection to negotiate. I don't know if that answers your question, but I think it does.
partially?
Partially, okay.
It's like the right turning lane is only for turning right.
Correct.
When you make a right turn, it's easier to make a right turn than making a left turn because the right turn is shorter. So instead of making it right and going straight, you made it left and going straight. So when people try to go straight, but there's somebody trying to turn left and the oncoming traffic's going down, they can't turn left. So people cut across into the right turning lane to go straight.
You make an excellent point. It is something that has to be considered, and it is under consideration, changing it.
Okay.
Are you going to school for traffic engineering? Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks for your input. Very good. Thank you.
Okay, where were those, the site plans? Okay, the town board did approve 2 site plans. Shall I give you the names?
Chase Bank and, oh my gosh.
Give me that, right there. Site plans with conditions were approved for the Chase Bank on Terry Road and for the Comac Car Wash on Ruth Boulevard in Comac. I move to end the meeting.
Second.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilman Wareham?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
Councilman Malloy?
Yes. Hey, John? What kind of paperwork in on that property that we bid on?